that, but coming in and looking around, it's beautiful. My first look at it was crossing over the bridge, driving in this morning, and to see the grandstands and the track, and it's impressive. So congratulations to all the fans, and have a great place to enjoy. A chance for more side-by-side racing, 3 or 4 wide down at that end of the track. I think our first time through, you might see some guys using the lower lane, but we're really not going all that fast yet. And I feel like the back half of the field will still be trying to navigate the final set of turns while the leaders take off. So we might get some separation. So I don't anticipate the plug those are free. But, so I don't think the backstretch is going to be super exciting until we come back through and we're 2 and 3 wide. But I feel like just from my point of view that turns 1 and 2, so almost said 3, 4. Turns 1 and 2 will be a bit more exciting than usual.
If it makes you feeling better, Dale Inman and Richard Petty still call Darlington 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And wow. That's been changed, 15 years. So
yeah, at least.
we've got a while to really catch on. One of the things that's become popular, I guess, at least in the past 10 years, is coming off of what was turn 2 now, turn 4. Got to think about it. And dive down on that apron. Now, you can't dive underneath that white line until you cross the start-finish line. Do you think we'll still see that type of racing where people try to dive under? And will we see more of it on restarts once you get past the start-finish line?
It is a bit shorter, so you can just inch by somebody clearing the 3. And then the other thing we can do is the spotters don't have the best point of view of the cars that are going away from them. So making that move gets the spotter of the car you're trying to pass to stay inside or get that warning to give you the lane. So we will still try to use those situations. The one downfall, though, is when you come off the banking down across the apron and back up, we start dragging stuff underneath the car. And all of that now is designed for a reason to lay very close to the ground, to create downforce, to seal the car off. And 2 or 3 trips through there, you bend the side skirts out of the way, and you strip a lot of the material off of it, and the car doesn't perform like it wants to. So I try to avoid it unless I really need to, and really try to only use it a couple times.
You look back over your stats here, 4 wins here, but a lot of them before there were some tweaks, I guess, to the track. What parts of it did change that you not felt as comfortable with, or have there been other factors? And what part of what we have now do you think you're going to like better?
Yeah, the layout of the track is a touch different than what it was the track that I drove on getting started. But the biggest difference is the type of asphalt that they put down. And asphalt technology has changed just like everything else, oddly enough. And the surface itself used to be very porous. You could literally see the stones sticking up through and they'd wear the tires out. Now it's like marble out there. Tile, it's just super smooth. I don't know exactly what has changed in the mix with the asphalt, but we don't have the tire wear that we once did. And it's not just here, but it's really all the tracks that get a repave. This technology has come along, and it just takes a long time for the tracks to really wear in, become an abusive surface to the track or to the tires, and create that multiple lanes of racing.
Hey, we talked a lot about 2018. How many have never had a chance to see Jimmie in a Q&A? I want to make sure I'm not asking a lot of folks. Okay. One of my favorite stories goes back to 2001, and the meeting
I've been to Jimmie.
that you,
come on now.
Mr. Henry, had with Lowe's, and how that conversation went, and what they asked you that you did not hesitate answering. Tell the folks that story.
Yeah, I lied a little bit, but I had to do it for the job.
And keep in mind, at that time, he had won how many Xfinity?
Zero. And like 3 races in ASA. So I've had 3 stock car wins in 4 years, and I have a chance at driving this new car, the 48, that Jeff Gordon and Rick Hendrick are going to create. And we're sitting in this really important meeting. I came in late. I had a sponsor appearance for my Xfinity team, and showed up to the second half of the meeting. And let's see, what was his name? So Bob Tillman. Bob Tillman was the then CEO, and sit at the table and said, look, my company's been in this sport for a lot of years. We've had Brett Bodine and Robbie Gordon and Mike Skinner. We've never won a race. My people deserve a winning race car and a winning driver. Can you win a race? And I just said hello and shook his hand. And we're 2 minutes into the conversation, and I looked down across the table and said, yes, sir, I can. And I'm under the table, I'm shaking like crazy. Somehow I got it. I don't know how or what, but I got it. And we were able to deliver.
And 83 wins later, we're tied with Cale Yarborough. What? I never asked you this question. After the first win, California, I believe your first season, what was the conversation with Mr. Tillman? And were they there at all?
No, they weren't. So you guys may have heard some stories about Mr. Hendrick and how he loves to incentivize his drivers. And occasionally he'll say, hey, I know you're trying to get a new car for your wife. If you win the race, I'll just give you that car. Win the pole. I got a free BMW this way, winning a pole for Charlotte. That's awesome. So our announcement with Lowe's coming on board, they gave me a jet ski for my birthday. And Mr. Hendrick was like, jet ski, Mr. Tillman? You guys can do better than that. He said, oh, don't you worry. If Jimmie wins something, that first race, we'll get him a boat so big he doesn't know how to do it. So in Victory Lane, Rick pulled out his phone, called Tillman, and said, hey, remind him about the boat. So I got a 38-foot fountain cigarette butt out of the deal.
Wow.
I love it when I hear stories I haven't heard. That's fantastic. Are there other wins like that something special happened? It doesn't have to be a gift, but that you just think back and say, that win was something special. Which ones jump out at you in addition to that one?
Yeah, I mean, there's different moments. There's been a bunch of different moments from special guests in our pits, tying the greats in various situations. But honestly, I go back to my first win. Happened to be in my home track, home state. The biggest that I could dream was to win a cup race, and then I won that race. Under those circumstances, it was just mind blowing for that. The first championship, we had a couple get away. When I look back on the years, I'd say probably the most fun I've had, just from a performance standpoint, team energy standpoint, would have been 2013. We could kind of win at will, had so much damn fun, and won the championship. The first one was the most stressful. I'd say our last one was probably the most spiritual / emotional championship that I've had. Trying to honor Ricky Hendrick and his number being 7, and many of you might remember that whole kind of purpose with my hashtag at the time. And I swear, when I heard clear and I passed Kyle Larson after we took the restart and came around on the back straightaway, I had goosebumps, and he was sitting next to me in the race car. It was just insane, that experience. So there's been a lot of different experiences on the way.
That day was something unusual because of the Final Four, you weren't the best that day. You were the best when it counted because you did have to win that race.
We led one lap.
That's really all he did.
And it'll take but one. That's the one that counted. Okay, I can't go without asking all the success that you and Chad have had. All good things come to an end. Dale Inman left and didn't race with Richard Petty. He likes to laugh and tell the story when folks say, where were you when he won his 200th race? He said, I was off winning my 8th championship. Reflect back on yours and Chad's success and what you're looking most forward to in the future, and see who can get that 8th first. Because I know that's got to be a competition with you guys.
It will be, of course, once we get going, but we're still focused on now and this year. But without a doubt, we have to run together. And the amount of time we've spent together and our friendship and where it's at, we're brothers, and that will never change. The decision wasn't easy to split us up at the end of this year. It hasn't made the end of the year all that easier for us in general. I mean, it's just kind of a difficult situation to work through. But I'm very proud of Chad and the professionalism that he has held, the way Mr. Hendrick has handled it. And we just both know that things come to an end, and we're doing it in a way that's respectful to one another. We're both excited about the future and what's going to happen. I think Chad's going to do a great job for William and really help develop him and make him a premier driver in the sport. And I'm excited to have my final few years, however many it ends up being, just something different, and going about it in a new way. I've evolved a lot as an individual, as a race car driver, the way I'm involved with the team. And it's nice to kind of start over in a sense and have this fresh start with a new sponsor, new crew chief, and go for our 8th championship. So I'm very excited about it. And again, it hasn't been an easy process. It was not an easy decision, but it was just something that needed to happen, and I think it's going to serve us both very well.
If you don't mind, see if we got time for a couple of questions.
Yeah.
I think somebody had a microphone over there. If anybody's got a question, raise your hand. And it can't be, will you sign something? It's got to be a question. Not a question. Because he's got to go qualify today. But if you have a question for Jimmie. Yeah. Jimmie and beer, that's why I'm here.
Jimmie and beer.
Shirt of the day so far.
I didn't even realize that was fantastic.
It was spelled correctly, so it's got to be you.
It's legit. So if you weren't a race car driver, what would you be? Who would you be if you weren't a race car driver?
I always wanted to be a fireman.
Woo!
I grew up in Southern California, and it was year-round fire season then, and unfortunately it still is now. But my closest friend growing up, his dad was the captain of the local fire department. We hung out at the fire department a lot, and kind of dreamed of that being us one day, and ended up going car racing.
Okay.
One race, Formula One. One race? Like if I could pick one to do? Oh, am I doing one? No, I'm not going to race in a Formula One car unless somebody wants to put a 40-something-year-old guy in a 20-year-old guy's sport over there. I would gladly take the opportunity. But Fernando Alonso and myself are going to switch cars. Yep. So their final race is in Abu Dhabi 2 weeks. And we've put a car in a container and shipped it across the Atlantic. It's actually in Dubai now.
Wow.
It has 2 more forms of transportation before it will end up in Bahrain. And going to go over and watch their season finale. We're all going to move Sunday night over to Bahrain. And I'll drive the Formula One car, and Fernando's going to drive the NASCAR vehicle.
Woo!
It's a road course over there. We're still working on our television partners. We're very hopeful to have it live on television. And then we're also capturing everything. So we'll have some announcements to make, and hopefully it'll be on one of the major digital platforms for everybody to really see the documentary start to finish on that project.
Got one more right here.
Okay, so I just want to say that I've been a fan since I was 4 years old, and the real question is, do you
You're only
think
6 now or so?
I'm actually 17.
He's a little big for his age.
Do you think you got a good enough car to win this weekend?
It's early to tell. It's just early to tell. The year has not gone as we had hoped by any stretch, but we continue to find more and bring more to the track, and our whole group is very excited about what we're bringing here. So I've learned to let stuff roll off your shoulders in this industry, and what happened last week doesn't mean it's going to happen again this week. So we're going to dig in and get everything we got.
Turn it on. Switch.
Sorry about that. Hello. I follow you on Twitter, so thank you for keeping the fans in the loop with your career and what you're doing with the family. I want to say thank you because by following you on Twitter, I won your Kansas hat.
Oh, cool.
So, and I was like, was that tweet real? Did it really happen? So I sent my mailing address, and lo and behold, 2 weeks later, my hat was delivered. So thank you for reaching out to the fans and keeping us in with what you got going on. Thank you.
Woo! Now, there are some great accounts out there claiming to be various drivers, so hopefully everybody's been burned by those guys.
Well, on that account, I know you're going to have to go. One of the things I did want to ask you about, we're not going to be able to take anymore. I'm sorry, because I know you've got to go. Twitter was something I wanted to ask you about.
They're getting ready to qualify.
You connected with the fans, and since this is a fan event, what got you interested in that, in being involved in Twitter, and just how you've taken it to another level?
Getting started, I was probably one of the later drivers to use social media. Back in the blog days, I saw some things written about my girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife, and my family, and just people being relatively ugly on there. And I was like, I don't want to intentionally sign up for this, right? And I have people tell me what they think all the time. So, but I realize how powerful that is, and I know that there are many fans out there that really do want to know what's going on and appreciate the efforts made and get a glimpse into my life and the other things that I'm interested in. So I definitely have come full circle. I'm probably more a fan of Instagram. I've always loved photography and been very drawn to it, so I'm on Instagram often. I probably don't post as much there, but all the platforms work well. I can't say that Snapchat is like a go-to thing for me. I know it's kids coming along, but social media has been, I think, very useful for me. At the track, I'm usually very focused and maybe don't give the most personality-filled interviews or connections to my fans at the track. And social media has been that outlet for me, and I think it's helped quite a bit.
How do the girls like it? And I need to comment on your Halloween costumes. That was one of my favorites. Who was who? I'm not into all that stuff.
So our girls tell us what we're going to be. I was Chewbacca and my wife was Darth Vader. And Lydia was Princess Leia, but she didn't like her hair up, so she took it down and we really couldn't tell what she was. My oldest decided to be a Harry Potter character, so we were a bit broken up this year. And then I found out that a few other people that I know were also Chewbacca this year.
Yeah.
I got my Chewbacca outfit from Amazon, out of a bag essentially, and Jeff Gordon got his from George Lucas or something. He got the most legit Chewbacca outfit in the history of outfits. But I would say if you plan on being Chewbacca, make sure you live like in a northern state or maybe Alaska. That outfit is so hot. I melted in that thing.
It was a little bit warm Halloween night in North Carolina, as I remember. Well, Jimmie, I know you've got a busy weekend. On behalf of the fans and the folks at Phoenix, I want to thank you very much.